these things are fundamentally irreducible. So even if you are a designer, you cannot ignore the customer. There has to be something in your head about customer. There also has to be something in your head about production and scaling. Because otherwise you're not going to design something which is of any use at all. So are they really
I think it's
reducible?
Pretty small. I think some designers probably don't think about the customer at all, or a tiny, I'm just thinking about a bloke designing part of a helicopter, and he's just thinking about the weight of it and the material and is it going to look
but who
good
is his
and,
customer, Chris? You say he's not thinking.
Well, don't care. I'm just going to make a really good helicopter.
But it might be an internal customer who's putting some weight restrictions on him, putting some restrictions on him, and he's seeing them as a customer. Now, he might not see the ultimate customer as a customer, but he will see somebody internally as a customer, which will frame how he thinks about
it should
particular. I think so.
And the people in the factory. I've spent almost my whole life in factories, and obviously we don't want to make bad quality, but that's mainly because we'll have to make it again, or quality control will give us hard life. I think we are dimly aware there is a customer, but I don't think we think about them much. I think it's really easy to lose sight of the customer if you're not careful. Obviously you should be thinking about the customer, but I think in a factory it's an internal game, and we've got to make a certain amount by this time with minimal waste, and we're thinking about all of that. We don't even have time to think about the customer. I think the customer really gets forgotten.
But I think in a
normal system, not in a fractal system where you've met the customer.
But in any free market, the ultimate, helicopter, let's use your example, is broken down all the way back to the mining of the bauxite that makes the aluminium, and then the smelters, and it goes through this rather complicated supply chain. They say, well, who are the customers? Well, the customer for the bauxite or the extractors is certainly not thinking about the helicopter, because he doesn't know where the aluminium is going to be put into. He hasn't a clue.
No.
But he has a customer. I think we all have some sort of vision of customer in our head, whether we like it or not. I think we all do.
I think that might be just you.
I think there's a vision of somebody.
I think even the guy making the helicopter,
even if it's your boss.
Yeah. Now that's a good point. So, for example, in design that you were talking about, it's much more likely that helicopter part is going to be very reminiscent of the previous helicopter part, because if you consider the customers, their colleagues in the environment who they're playing this game with. What they don't want to do is pass a problem down the line, like a new technique or a new material or a new assembly requirement.
Yeah.
Because they know that it's a pitfall they've introduced.
Mm.
So there'll be a tendency just to repeat what worked last time.
Because then we know that manufacturing can make it, and the fella can sell it, because that's what's happened in the past.
It's hard to design something really different. Everyone else having to change as well.
Yeah, without everyone else having to change. And that may have implications. For example, it may mean that you've reduced in your design 3 parts into 1. Down the line there somewhere is going to be 3 fellas who don't have only one of them has a job now.
Yeah.
Because you don't.
We're going to make it out of plastic instead of metal.
Yeah.
So all the metal people are like, what? And they haven't got any plastic people, so it's like, what?
Yeah.
And then the salespeople might not even be able to sell it because, will the customers like it? So it's all arse about face.
It is arse about face. But if you're also the production person, and you're the designer, and you're the salesperson, you talk to the customer. And they can even be internal. They don't have to be an external customer. Okay. But you're much more cognizant of the overall compromise you're striking. So, and you won't do it at a loss. You won't make your particular part at a loss.
Yeah, that's true. You're going to make sure you don't.
And that's key.
Yeah.
Because in most organisations, they don't give a damn whether they make a loss in their particular activity or not.
Well,